gonna have it nice. Could you please not just give me this thing, all right? Enough.
Some of the most unforgettable moments in Friends were never written in the script. They just happened on the fly, often by complete accident. Matthew Perry was a master at staying in character during Friends, even when scenes didn't go exactly the way they were supposed to. Case in point, this scene in Season 4, Episode 3, where Rachel finds him in a compromising situation in her boss's office and then makes things worse by handcuffing him to a filing cabinet. But apparently one of these set dressers forgot to secure the cabinet drawer in one take because...
I'm gonna say this for the last time. Would you please just...
To his credit, he reacted exactly the same way Chandler would have, and the unscripted moment stayed. Nobody can improvise like Billy Crystal, and of course, the king of improv, Robin Williams. Well, they just happened to be on the same studio lot the day Friends was filming Season 3, Episode 24.
So I go over there.
Excuse us.
Stories differ on how exactly it happened, but they agreed to film a quick scene with the cast, none of whom knew they were going to show up to interrupt Monica's story.
I have a feeling my wife is sleeping with her gynecologist.
The writers didn't have time to put a script together for them, so their whole bit in the episode is ad-libbed.
How can I have it nice? Could you please not just give me this thing, all right? Enough.
Since they didn't have any lines either, the friends got a few of their own improvised jokes into the mix, like Joey's line here.
It's me. I've been sleeping with your wife.
So you're the gynecologist?
Hey, I'm trying to have a private conversation about it.
The whole scene only lasts a few minutes, but the story is they filmed it all in one go, with a little editing later to tighten it up for broadcast. So when it's finally over, Courtney Cox legitimately forgot her own scripted story.
So, Monica, what were you going to tell us?
I have no idea.
Season 2, Episode 1 serves as the first example of comedic improv from one of the show's main cast members that made it into the taped version of an episode. The setup is Chandler needs a tailor, which prompts Joey to try to remember the last time he used his family's tailor.
You did my first suit when I was 15. No, wait. 16. All right, when was 1990?
Chandler, who couldn't care less, puts an end to all that with a perfectly timed ad-libbed line.
You have to stop the Q-tip when there's resistance.
Funnily enough, the first time that significant lines were ad-libbed by a Friends actor wasn't done by any of the 6 main characters. Season 1, Episode 7 finds most of the gang sheltering in Monica and Rachel's apartment as New York City goes through a blackout. While trying to find the owner of a lost cat, Rachel runs into a very tall, very Italian man named Paolo, played by Cosimo Fusco.
Buonasera.
Fusco was told by the Friends writing team to simply ad-lib all of his Italian, and nobody in the cast had any idea what he was saying.
Phoebe, anche tu bellissima. Se siete tutte così belle, mi trasferisco proprio qui.
You betcha.
What he actually said there was, "Phoebe, you're so beautiful too. If you're all so gorgeous, I'll move right here." Not a bad line to pull out of thin air.
Hey, what did he say that was so funny?
I have absolutely no idea.
Sometimes jokes were written into the show without all of the cast's knowledge. Probably the best time that happened was in Season 7, Episode 16. Throughout the episode, Rachel teaches Ross's son Ben a few classic pranks, which Ross isn't thrilled about. So the writers included a bit where Ross gets revenge on Rachel and inadvertently terrified Jennifer Aniston at the same time. At the end of the episode, Ross pretends to be furious at Ben and chases him up the apartment building's stairs. Then... she had no idea that was going to happen and thought Schwimmer had actually come flying down, so that was her genuine reaction. Nothing like a little bit of unscripted terror to lighten the mood. The B-plot in Season 2, Episode 5 surrounds a voicemail left on Chandler and Joey's answering machine from a woman named Jade who's looking for her ex-lover, Bob.
I got a little drunk and naked.
Bob here.
Chandler spends most of the episode pretending to be Bob on the phone so that he can stand her up as Bob and then swoop in as Chandler when she's left brokenhearted. All that is to say, the best joke that came out of that scenario happened at the very end of the episode when Joey happens to hear Jade leaving a new voicemail. He leaps up to answer the phone and, well...
one hot, steamy, wild night.
Joey wasn't supposed to trip over the couch, it was a total accident, but the producers left the take in the episode because it really is the perfect ending to that storyline. Probably one of the most famously cited examples of improvisation in Friends isn't exactly improv because it originated during rehearsals for the episode and then was kept in by the writers.
Guess what job I just got?
I don't know, but Donald Trump wants his blue blazer black.
When the cast was learning the script for Season 4, Episode 11, Matthew Perry could not stop flubbing that line, which eventually caused the other actors to ad-lib jokes making fun of him.
Why would he want his blue blazer black? Well, you messed it up. You're stupid.
Long story short, the writers loved it all so much that they embraced Perry's flubbed line delivery and allowed the cast to castigate him on camera as well. Season 5 of Friends is largely considered to be one of the best seasons of the show. After 4 years, the cast had found a groove with each other, and fans were thoroughly invested in the development of the lives of the show's characters. Season 5, Episode 4 finds Ross desperately trying to reconcile with his recently separated wife. When she finally returns his call, Ross is so overjoyed that he goes off script.
Emma, oh my God, it's Emily, everyone, she's...
That lamp handoff wasn't in the script. If you watch it again, it's obvious that Perry has no idea what to do with the thing. But he stays in character and then, for some reason, keeps holding the lamp for the rest of the scene. That's why no matter what the episode's actual name is, fans will always know it as the one with the lamp. One of the best shocks that the writers of Friends pulled off happened in the Season 5 finale where Rachel and Ross, both blackout drunk, get married as a joke. In Season 6, Episode 1, neither of them remember what they did the night before, but hey, what are friends for?
We weren't gonna miss our friends getting married. Who got married?
You did?
They're both stunned and horrified and agree to pursue an annulment as soon as they get back to New York City. Ross eventually backtracks a little and asks Rachel if they can stay married, just to spare him the embarrassment of 3 failed marriages. As the argument goes on, Rachel was originally supposed to say a written line to put a cap on their fight, but the live audience simply wasn't laughing at the punchline, so Jennifer Aniston, looking for a more enthusiastic response, ad-libbed her own line during one take.
Oh, Ross, come on! This is not a marriage! This is the world's worst hangover!
That's the line that made it into the show and into history. Christina Applegate is one of the best Friends guest stars ever, and one of a few who made multiple appearances. And her first appearance in Season 9, Episode 8 led to one of the show's funniest unscripted lines. Applegate plays Rachel's sister Amy, who, not to put too fine a point on it, is shallow, selfish, and condescending to literally everyone she meets.
You know it would be incredible? If you guys died.
Thank you, Amy.
Amy meets all of Rachel's friends and manages to insult each of them, particularly Phoebe, who she thinks is named Emma thanks to a mix-up when they're introduced.
Is this the first time you're seeing Emma?
Yeah, I think so. It's nice to meet you, Emma.
Phoebe.
Phoebe keeps trying to correct her, and during filming, one of the writers threw in an extra line for Applegate on the fly.
Phoebe! Why does she keep making that noise?
Applegate told Today that the joke was literally written in front of the audience and instantly became her favorite line from the episode, and ours too. Friends ran for 10 full-length seasons, and the characters spent a major part of those 10 years at their favorite coffee shop, Central Perk. The final episode of the show finds all 6 characters at a point of change, and faced with Monica and Chandler's empty apartment, the friends become emotional. When Rachel asks if everyone has time to spend a few last moments together, Perry brings the entire show home with a simple ad-libbed joke.
Okay, should we get some coffee?
Sure. Where?
It's hard to imagine a more appropriate end to the show.